It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Just a little ways east from the nation's political arena. We're in a much different type of arena here, Commanders Field in Landover, Maryland. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scotch, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Ball is teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're off and running from Landover. Returning it from the 4. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. And leading them out is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, the number 2 pick in the NFL draft out of LSU, Jaden Daniels.
Well, here he comes. Here comes the Heisman Trophy winner from a season ago, and what a show he put on, man. He was a stat stuffer. Over 1,100 yards rushing. Looked a lot like Lamar Jackson did back in the day in college. And oh, by the way, 40 touchdowns passing, too. You know why this Washington organization took him so high in this draft? They want him to be Lamar Jackson. They want him to be dynamic. And he's going to get his career off and running.
And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
Daniels from the pistol. It's taken in by Sinnott. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Out of the gun, Daniels. That's complete. McLaurin along the sideline. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Still finding room past the 45. And he's finally brought down just a yard shy of midfield. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Commanders will have a first.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. From the gun, it's Daniels. That's brought in by Luke McCaffrey. And he gets it past the 50 and down to the Steelers' side of the field.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Oh, he missed that one, and he knew it. Put it behind his guy, and now it's 4th down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Commanders punting on 4th down, and they're going to bring out the ever-reliable lefty vets, Tressway. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. So here are the Steelers now, taking over for the first time. Leading them out, a man in his 13th NFL season and rising quickly up the career leaderboards, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson finds a new home in Pittsburgh, and I think he finds the exact right fit for his skill set. A team in the Steel City that loves to run the ball, play great defense. That sound familiar? That's what he did for the Seahawks for well over a decade. He's looking to rejuvenate his career after a couple tough seasons in Denver, and this might just be the right fit.
On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go, second down. Harris once more. Still motoring past the 30. And he's going to get all the way up to the midfield stripe. It's a 31-yard play. And that's a Steelers first down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the second level and beyond.
So the ball on the midfield stripe now after that big play. It's 1st and 10. Staying on the ground with Harris. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. From the gun, they go with Harris. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
That's the kind of run that shows he's trying to take some stress off the passing game to provide big plays. What a great help to that side of an offense when the ground game can deliver chunk plays too.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And they take him down after just a small gain on the final play of the first. Through one quarter, neither side breaking through on the scoreboard. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll return to Landover right after this. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They're advancing it well as they face second down. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
They give to Harris from the gun. And he's brought down for a loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
It's caught right side by Freiermuth. And that will not be enough for a first down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Russ now from the gun. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Mike Sarah still makes the play.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 24, finds his target, Robinson. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the 1st, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. It's the Commanders with a 1st and 10. Markers reset, ball at the 37. On 1st down, here's Daniels. This ball's cut by McCaffrey. And he'll get it up to the 44.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. Or 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
The Commanders in the hurry up. They're hustling for the line. 2nd and 3. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. That one gains 7. And that'll be good for a Washington 1st.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Again, Daniels to the air. Ertz reels it in. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
The Commanders in the hurry up. They're hustling for the line. 3rd and short, Daniels. Complete beyond the marker. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. The Commanders take a timeout. They're 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They've got 1st down from the 31. They'll throw it again. He sends this one to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone. Minka Fitzpatrick has got it.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. Ross out of the pistol. Pass taken in by Freiermuth. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable. and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
Wilson on 3rd down. Pass is hauled in by the running back. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. So a punt coming up on 4th down, and it's the Ghent, Belgium native, Corliss Waitman with the honors. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And they'll take over with minimal time remaining in the half. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Back to throw it. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. So we've reached halftime. A rough one for a former quarterback like my partner to watch so far. Hang in there. We're scoreless at the break. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Well, Brock, I think it's safe to say this has been a defensive slobber knocker through two, right? Maybe some points finally on the horizon as we resume play. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30.
Well, we got ourselves quite a game today, a tie game coming into this 3rd quarter. And what you're looking for is a little instant jolt of momentum coming out of the locker room. And that return might just be the spark that leads to that momentous fire.
1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start with a give to Harris. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Jeremy Chin there on the stop. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Here's 2nd and 5. Freiermuth there to bring it in. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Now running for the first time with Jalen Warren. And he takes it up and across midfield to Commanders territory. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
From just shy of midfield on second down. Hits him on the in route. And they make the tackle at the 38. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
He drops it! Oh, a huge gain in hand, but he couldn't finish the catch. Wanted to get that one to Mike Williams. So second down coming up.
With how hard it is to get an open look downfield, can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. This is Harris on second down. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Wilson now from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Running behind center with Harris. And that's good for a gain of 5. Marshawn Lattimore up from the secondary for the stop. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Second down here, another give to Harris. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Completed here to Pickens. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. So it's 2nd down coming up.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Going right side, Harris with it. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. So after 3, we're still waiting on our first score of the contest. Somehow, this game is still scoreless as we get set for our final quarter. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. And he sails that one over the end zone. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So they're left facing a 4th down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So here's Chris Boswell in a high-pressure spot. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Starting from the 5. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30.
Hey, Kate, the best kick returners I was ever around, really at any level, they want this opportunity. They want their chance to help their team. They know they're down, but they also know that return, especially a good one like this, can set the offense up for success.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Robinson on the inside give. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I don't know, Kate. I didn't think he had it, but that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
1st and 10 from the 41. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Completed over the middle. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. From the gun, it's Daniels. Has a man, it's Brown. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Daniels on first down. Well, very quick throw, but they couldn't connect.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Out of the gun, Daniels. That's McLaurin with a catch out left. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Commanders will have a first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB could run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there was none to be had. No escape route available this time.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in D.C. Commanders down by only 3. They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Extra man in the secondary for the Steelers. 3rd down coming up. Throwing now. Forced out to his right. Oh, he's going to run for it. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
And it's on its way and through. He hit it from deep. And inside the final minute, they've tied this up.
It's such a confidence builder to a sideline, to an entire team, Kate, when you can rely and trust your kicker in these big moments. He tied it up, and now it's incumbent upon his defense to do their job.
It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. Return coming from the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Steelers and Najee Harris making their return to the field. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones, continuing to hit this defense more good numbers well into this second half. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Carried by Harris here to start the drive. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. The rookie from Michigan there that time. Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run. Snared by his running back, it's Najee Harris. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. In quite the time crunch here, Brock, but still 2 timeouts to burn. It's 1st down. Looking to throw it. This ball's cut by Pickens. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. An entire stadium of pressure now on Chris Boswell. And a timeout's called. We'll have likely just a final play. Only 6 seconds remaining in this one. Now it all comes down to the veteran, confidently marching out for this moment. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. This one's not looking good, and it won't be. Short and too far left. And barring a miracle, we're set up for overtime.
The mission objective now becomes supporting him after that miss, Kate. We're heading to overtime, and in that extra frame, you know there's a good chance he's going to be called on again to go out and try to win this game.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Now to throw. This to win the game. And the defender comes away with it. Minka Fitzpatrick has got it. Man, this has been such a great game. Nobody is ready for it to end just yet. After 4 quarters, we're headed to overtime. And hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. Has this at the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Harris gets it on the counter. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 31. It's Pickens on the slant. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They give now to Najee. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Russ now from the gun. Caught by Freiermuth. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Warren quick on the draw. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. He comes through with 6. It's going to be 4th and 1.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
The Steelers set to punt it. And in overtime, he needs to make this a good one. And it sails out of bounds. That's a good kick. Got all the way down to what looks like the 10-yard line before leaving the field. The Commanders and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. They're out and set, 1st and 10. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
As a play caller, Kate, I would always be a little cautious of a 1st down draw. I like it better when that defense is anticipating pass. Well, they were only anticipating getting the backfield and making that running back feel the pain.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. He gets this one to McLaurin. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. To throw. On target to his man Zacchaeus. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Timeout taken by the offense, their 2nd. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. An option give to Robinson. Still finding room past the 45. And he's going to get all the way up to the midfield stripe. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. That's McLaurin on the quick slant. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Final timeout taken by the Commanders. And they'll be unable to stop the clock again here in overtime. Second and 3 now. Here he is to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Still time for a couple of plays, though. 15 seconds left. This one misses the tight end. So it's going to be 3rd and short coming up.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Play fake here, Daniels. Can't find anyone open, and he's forced to throw it away.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Big moment here in overtime. 4th down, and the offense is out there. They kick the running back in motion. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Sometimes a quarterback gets so focused on coverage down the field, you lose sight of those linemen right in front of you. On that occasion, he throws it right to the D lineman. Easy to get the paw up and swat away a potential 1st down.
Wilson with it on 1st. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. So we still can't decide a winner in this one. Let's reset that clock and do it all over again. What do you say? Another overtime is coming your way. Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Throwing again is Russ. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson to the air. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Ross off the play fake. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
And he's short of the first after a mild gain. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
The kick is good. He got it. And that's going to break our tie and give him a 3-point advantage.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3, and his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game. So for Brock Heward and all of our crew, I'm Kate Scott, wrapping up another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners, as with that, we sign off from D.C.
At least we held them out.